that in a second. But I want to stop first on something that I think, that I said a minute ago, that as soon as I said it, I thought, boy, that is uncomfortable to say, and I bet really uncomfortable to hear, because people will not understand it. And what I said was, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to let everybody over there just kill each other. Now that seems so harsh and so awful and so un-American to say, you're not going to be able to solve this, and you're going to have to let everybody kill themselves. We can't play a role in everybody's civil war. Awful. And goes against our very nature, and this is a good thing, goes against our nature as people. But here's why I believe this to be true. Two reasons. One, all of the treasure and all of the power, influence, and goodwill that was earned by the greatest American generation in World War II is now gone. We do not have the clout that we had in the rest of the world that was earned by those people. We do not have the treasure that was earned by those people. We have spent the treasure. We have spent our morals that they taught us, and we have spent our power and prestige and our goodwill. It's gone. Second, we have tried. The reason why we spent all of that treasure, the reason why we spent all of that goodwill and everything else, is because we adopted this progressive idea that we can be the world's policeman, that we can actually stop everyone from fighting. You can't. You cannot. Just like children, you cannot stop your kids. Your kids are going to fight. Now, what you can do is you can go in and solve every single one of their problems for them, which means you will have children that bicker for all time. And I don't mean because you're going to go up. Remember when Grandma and Grandpa died and you're like, oh, they're together again. You think they want to see you? Grandma and Grandpa, if they have raised a bunch of sniveling brats, it's all time. For all eternity, your kids are going to be yelling at you. Okay? So here we are sitting here trying to solve the world's bickering children who end up killing each other. It's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. And in the end, you will be in a more dangerous world because no one will have any self-control. You won't have any power. You won't have any clout. You'll be blamed for absolutely everything. Because what do bickering children do? In the end, the bickering children look at you and say, it's your fault. You're the one who put me on this couch. You're the one that caused all my problems. That's what's happening. We've tried, because this is the progressive way to look at food choices. We're too stupid to figure out what to eat and what not to eat. And so the progressive government says, I'm going to teach you because I'm your mommy and I'm your daddy. I'm your Uncle Sam. They think we're children. And we have been treating the world like children that we could parent for 100 years. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And the evidence, look at the world today. Are we safer? Are we better off? Does this system work? We just played it poorly? No, the system doesn't work. We tried. The progressives came in and said, there's a whole new world. Progressives believe that people progress past certain caveman-like instincts. No, they don't. I guarantee you, you take away civilization, and your neighbor, who you think is kind of a nice guy, but not all that great, will kill you for food. Will kill you. You take away civilization. We are the same animals. It is civilization that puts us back together. Civilization is not equal. I'm sorry. But all peoples and their governments are not the same. They are not equal. Some of them work, some of them don't. They haven't figured it out in the Middle East yet. You cannot impose it on them. You can't. Look what happened in Egypt. There are really good people there, a lot of really good people. And we can hold their hand and we can be there for them and we can love them and we can try to teach them. And if you want to go feed them, you can feed them. You want to go fight in their war, you can go fight in their war. We can talk with them. We can do everything. But you cannot impose anything on anybody else.
And you ask yourself in Syria, let's say we do get involved and we lob cruise missiles, we destroy chemical weapons, we help the rebels. What's the good outcome there? On the one side, you have Bashar Assad, who's a brutal dictator. On the other side, you have Al-Qaeda and the related radical extreme fundamentalist Islamists. Who's better ruling that country?
Here's the thing. They will go back to World War II.
It's not a good outcome either way.
They'll go back to World War II and they'll say, well, we stopped the Nazis. Well, yes, because you were dealing with people who understood fundamentally the Western way of life. You're not taking...
And we oversaw it for a good long time.
Right, but you had, as your stock, people who had just gone off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
They had been on the rails of civilization. They had created a lot of really good stuff, and they had gone off the rails. And so you were just putting those pieces back in order for them. In Syria, your people, the resistance, are eating people. You didn't have the German underground eating the Nazi soldiers. You didn't have the German underground or the French underground being those kind of people. They were people we could relate to. They were people that understood the Western way of life. You don't have a good guy here. You don't have a good guy. You don't have good groups of people. The people who are the good groups are the ones that are not fighting. They're the ones in the middle going, God almighty, help us, please. You don't have the people vying for power. That's what the problem was when Bill Kristol was like, well, I think we have a real Jeffersonian kind of democracy, kind of revolutionary. Really? Do you, Bill? Show me Tom. Where is Tom Jefferson? Where is he? You don't have, like this revolution, or the freedom fighters that understood freedom and they understood why fascism was bad. Look what happened to us when we got into war with the Soviet Union. We got into bed with the Soviet Union and we said, we're allied with you. We built them up and we spent the next 40 years fighting them.
Look